logos don't pay your bills. Let me say that again. Logos don't pay your bills. Why is that important? It's because so many times as an agency owner myself, I work with startups, I work with companies that have been around for a while, and they're so fascinated with their logos. They're so fascinated where it's like on their website, it's got to be the biggest thing that people see. Like even to the extent where it's like the navigation, call to actions, like your phone number, like nobody cares about that. It's about the logo. And here's the punchline, okay? Your logo identifies your business, but your content grows your business. Let me say it again. Your logo is going to identify your business to people. They're going to see it on billboards and the TV, and they're going to see it in brochures, magazines, and stuff like that. But it is your content that grows your business. And today, I'm going to share with you 3 tips that I believe that'll help you really understand that it's okay to not worry about the logo because your logo is not paying you. Trust is paying you. If you're new to me, I'm digital marketing coach Chris Heidlebaugh, and I help home service companies and contractors stop guessing with their marketing and start focusing on getting more leads, more calls, and more book jobs. So if you're looking for somebody to give you a digital marketing audit, to train you or your team how to do your own digital marketing, or somebody to do your digital marketing for you, you can check me out at digitalmarketingcoach.com to see how you can work with me. Okay, so let's kind of talk about this. I really want to focus on this on point number 1 is customers buy trust, not logos. Great. And trust me, like I like my logo, right? But it's for branding, not for trust and things like that. Okay? So the thing is your customers are going to buy trust. So what does that trust mean? It is your content. It is your reviews. It is like your website, your social media, what you have going on. What does AI say? All these different things. That is your content. That is your, what people see, especially reviews, right? That is the trust that people are going to see, not your logo, okay? And so I really want to, focus on that it doesn't matter if your logo is the biggest thing in the world or the smallest. When it's 2 o'clock in the morning and somebody's toilet is overflowing, water's going everywhere, do you think they care about your logo? Or do they care about that you have great reviews and you can be there within the next 30 minutes, right? Now that's not going to be every single company, and I understand that. But again, that's the thing is if you have an emergency, you could care less, right? And that's the point. If you're a garage door repair company, okay, you smash through your garage door in an accident, okay, like I have a 22-year-old son, like maybe there's been a time where you're training your kids and you're doing the classes and all the hours and all those kind of things, and stuff happens. The brake pedal kind of turned into the gas pedal, and now your car's sitting in your living room, right? It could be anything, okay? But it's going to be one of those things that when you need a garage door repair company right now or within the next short amount of time, and you go to their website, are you looking at their logo and the script of the font and, oh, did you see the color palette that they used? No, dude, come on. Like you care about, can they help you? And that is where the trust comes from. So really, truly, number 1, people are buying trust. They're not buying your logo, okay? Number 2 is your assets are going to generate those leads, okay? So what do I mean by that? So as a digital marketing agency owner myself, I help companies, I train companies, but I've also been a contractor. So I've been doing this for 25 years, and part of my time is spending 18 years of that, doing construction, doing concrete work, doing framing, doing, roofing, doing, all these different things. And so it's one of those concepts that, for me, like I had to put food on the table while I was growing my brands and things like that. And so I've seen both sides of this, okay? And so what's really more important is that people see that, you actually have real content, like you're showing before and after pictures. And this is a great tip. Like if you're using a CRM, okay, something that's keeping track of your clients and what work you did for them, tell your team and your technicians, be like, look, take a before picture, take an after picture, okay? Not only does that help for your website, but it also helps for social media, AI, and these other platforms that you can put content out there, right? It's a big deal. So with that being said, though, is again, create assets, okay? And those are going to generate leads. So when you're going to a house, and let's just say it's Chris HVAC, I'm the company, and I go to somebody's house and I notice that their air filter is super clogged, their furnace filter, whatever, okay? So the furnace filter is super clogged. We find out it hasn't been changed in 5 years. Can you believe that, right? That'd be crazy. So it's putting so much pressure, so much strain. People are like, well, our air conditioner, like we hardly get any cool air. The furnace is not blowing out anything, blah, 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 okay? And as you go in, you notice, you're like, hey, yeah, like your furnace filter, is super clogged. And so like, here I am, I'm taking a picture before, and now I'm taking a picture after. And showing up if I held up 2 furnace filters right here and say, hey, what does your furnace filter look like? If it looks like this, you could be wearing down your furnace machine. Maybe you're using the wrong MERV or whatever it is, blah, 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 X, Y, Z. You're going to wear down your machinery. Here's what a clean one looks like. Oh, by the way, at Chris HVAC company, we offer an annual maintenance plan where we'll come out every month or whatever, X, Y, and Z, okay? Not only does it give you a chance to kind of sell to people, but you're also educating. So you're winning business through education. That's why I do videos, right? That's why I put out content. It's like I want to help people. And at the end of the day, if somebody's like, hey, look, man, there's that weird like home service guy that thinks he's super cool, which I'm not. But he's like, he goes by the digital marketing coach. Okay, that's great. Why? Well, I got a hard last name to pronounce to begin with, but it's one of those concepts that you're like, hey, that guy, I trust him. Like his education's spot on. Hey, we're going to at least give him a shot, right? Same thing with you. Like if you're telling people, hey, look, don't buy an air conditioning unit if it's this or that and the other, or educate people. Hey, what's the difference between a 92% efficiency one versus 88% or something like that, okay? Or SEER 16 or this, that, and the other. Maybe it's plumbing, maybe it's garage doors. Do I need an insulated garage door or I don't, right? So the more content you put out there, then your customers are going to get even more trust with you, and that's going to generate leads, okay? And one of the last things is really focus on, stop trying to polish your business and really truly start marketing, okay? It's one of those concepts that so many companies, especially the bigger the company, the more people you have, is kind of like all of a sudden you have people that are like building all these they're going to like Canva, and they're like building logos and they're building all kinds of stuff and they're doing all these things, and you're just like, all these brochures and all these flyers and all these things. One of the funniest things is when somebody sends me a QR code to put on their website, and I'm like, well, if I'm already on my phone, it's kind of hard to scan the QR code, right? But you get things in your head, right? You get things going on. And so I'm not saying, please don't hear my heart. I'm not saying don't worry about your logo, don't worry about your fonts or your colors or things like that. But in the grand scheme of things, if you want more leads, more calls, and more booked jobs, which is what I focus on myself for you, focus on content first. Stop polishing, like what you got going on for your business, and start focusing on your marketing. That is so much more important, okay? At the end of the day, it's kind of like if somebody goes out in the forest and it's like if somebody screams and like nobody hears you, like if nobody's around, are you really screaming kind of thing, right? Same thing with your marketing. If you're out there and you're like, hey, look how great we are. Look at our biggest logo that's out there. We got the biggest billboard with the logo. And trust me, I've seen this. Like I've seen companies where they'll just out in the field, here's a billboard with a logo. Like I don't even know what they do, right? But they think that, oh, we're getting exposure. And to some level, okay. But when you're putting out content, I live in a digital world, you live in a digital world. When people see your content, when they see education, when they see information, when they see reviews, that is going to help way more than having this super polished logo, okay? So again, at the end of the day, focus on your marketing, focus on creating content. Stop worrying about polishing every detail of your business brand and identity and colors and hues and things like that, how big the fonts are, the scripts, and focus on the client, focus on the customer. If you need help, I'm Digital Marketing Coach Chris Heidlebaugh. We'll see you next time at digitalmarketingcoach.com.